Welcome to the channel, Tessie here, and on this channel we discuss so many things, viral topics, my lifestyle, the outcomes for Black women and women in general in dating and more. So grab yourself a glass of something lovely. I've got here a glass of non-alcoholic white wine. Come and sit down with me and let's have a discussion. So smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, because I'm going to talk about something seriously interesting and you're going to love it. So there's a topic I've been wanting to discuss and now I've finally got the time to do it, and that is I've noticed that a lot of 4B women are still very male-centered. So what do I mean? I've noticed that a lot of 4B women still prioritize talking about men and thinking about men and making men the majority of their topics and all of that. So in order for me to discuss it more and go deeper into it, I have to first of all talk about what 4B is. 4B is a radical feminist movement that supposedly originated from Korea, although it's been around for a while. Right? It's just finally got a name to it. And essentially it is a movement that aims to improve the quality and standard of living of women in Korea. And there are 4 tenets that it goes by. Women should not sleep with men, women should not date men, women should not have kids, and women should not marry men. So those are the 4 tenets, right? And this movement has spread to America. A lot of American women have adopted this movement, and a lot of Black American women. Now, my channel is focused on Black women. I do talk about topics in general for women, but it's mostly focused on Black women across the world. So Black women in the UK, Black women in America, in Europe, Africa, wherever, right? And the reality is I've noticed that a lot of women who say that they're 4B are very much still obsessed with talking about men and trauma dumping with their toxic past and relationships with other women. Now, don't get me wrong, I love 4B. I support the content, I love it, and I think it has, incredible benefits for women. However, I've noticed that a lot of these 4B content creators, they spend their day after day after day. Sometimes they release 3 or 4 videos a day after. They don't even give themselves a week break. Have a Kit Kat, have a drink, have a Kit Kat, have a slice of cheesecake, love. They don't even give themselves a week break. They just constantly talk about men. And it just suggests to me that men are still in your mind. You're still worried and stressed about them, right? Because it's almost similar to what MGTOW men do. Now, MGTOW men, men who go their own way. Men who say they go their own way, but I actually call them men who complain about women all day, right? And that's essentially what they do. They say that they're going their own way, they don't want to deal with women anymore. But yet all they do is talk about women, complain about women doing this, doing that, go on our live, videos, 4-hour live streams with their bros on a panel and a Red Bull case and just talk about women all day and modern women this and Western women that and women did me this and women did me that. This is why I've never been able to respect them, because they say that they're not worried about women, but women are still stressing them out up here. Women are still in their minds up here. And it's the same thing that I notice, unfortunately, a lot of 4B women are doing, right? And the reality is, if you are 4B, why would you care about men? You're not even supposed to hate men, right? If you don't really care, you're not supposed to hate them. But then I see a lot of them going about how they hate them, this and that. Listen, I don't hate men. I don't care about what they do. If I need them for something, I need them. If I don't, I don't. And I'm saying this as someone about to get very happily married in a happy relationship. Some of these 4B women, right, they put so much energy into hating men. You're still male-centered, love. You're still male-centered, love. You're still male-centered, love. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Great. Right? And the reality is, you're not supposed to care that much, right? Or at all. You're supposed to be neutral. And I see 4B women insulting married women, insulting single mothers, stalking married women's channels, stalking single mothers, you talk about men more than married women and women in relationships to you, right? And it's not making sense. You're still stressed about men up here. And some of them use it as an excuse to trauma dump and gather women together and trauma dump about their toxic past. Listen, 4B is a fantastic movement if it's done correctly, right? I love the movement, I support it, but it's not a trend, it's a lifestyle. You live it until you die. Having a banner on your channel that says 4B and talking about how you're 4B does not make you 4B. Some women who say they're 4B actually talk more about how they're 4B than actually being 4B. You say you're 4B, but you're still messing around with men, sexually, physically, emotionally. How does that make sense? And women who are happily full B do not go around insulting married women or single mothers. I've noticed this trend a lot, right? Now, there are so many reasons why a woman would become full B. She might become full B because she's had bad experiences in her past with men. Maybe she's been abused by men or been assaulted. Maybe she has been parentified as a child and she spent all her time raising kids, and essentially as a young person, she's been a parent already and she doesn't want to be a parent anymore. Fine. Maybe she has genetic disease and disorders she doesn't want to pass down. Maybe she is mentally ill or she's disabled and she doesn't have the energy to have a family. Some women also just don't have the money as well to have a family. Having a family, having a relationship, it all costs money. All of this is expensive, right? And a lot of women just don't want to deal with that. There's so many reasons, right? But the way a lot of 4B women are so birdy. When it comes to men, you're not supposed to care, right? I don't care. Men are just there. They're just there. They just exist. And let me tell you something. My aunt, I have very good examples of 4B in my family, right? My sister and my aunt. My aunt who passed away, I love her to bits. She was real 4B. She was 4B before there was internet around to tell you what 4B was, right? And I remember when I was a kid, I was 13, and she told me, I asked her, Auntie, why don't you want to get married? And she said, I just don't feel like it. She did not care. You couldn't even have a conversation with her about men. She'd fall asleep. And she didn't go around hating married women either. She was super excited for my baby. It was just unfortunate that God didn't allow us to have that privilege because I loved her so much. Unfortunately, she died of a brain aneurysm. But she told me when she was younger that she was going to stay in her house, own her own home, and die in her own home. And that's exactly what she did. She died in her own home, on her own. She never got married, had kids. She did not even entertain the thought of men. She did not spend time hating men or chatting about them. She just lived her life.